Hello everybody, a very, very good morning to you and welcome back to another live stream here at Taurex and at Moss. Hope everyone's had a good week so far. The week's pretty much played out as expected, as we predicted in our weekly preview stream on Monday, and that is one of slightly more calm and stability. But something changed this morning, and luckily I've timed my stream well because I'm going to come on today and I believe that today, from what I'm seeing in the morning now and what I'm looking at right now, I just see some more risk off trading creeping in, and that was my concern, was that we had a few days of calm, and it was like the calm before the storm. So I'm actually on high alert right now for some more risk off trading starting today. So we're going to have a look at some of the market moves to see, if that comes or if it doesn't. So it's a good time to do just a little bit of an update really from Monday's stream. Obviously Monday's stream was very in detail, nearly an hour long, talking about what's expected this week. So if you haven't watched that, it's on the YouTube channel and you can watch on catch up. I know a lot of people do, which is great. But for today, obviously, the stories haven't really changed. We've had some news out, so we're going to go through some of the news events that we've seen, particularly from the UK, and then we're going to look ahead to what I think is going to be a really busy day and what's already started as a busy day, because we're seeing some big moves. I'm seeing oil down 2%. I'm seeing the Nasdaq down 1.75. I'm seeing the dollar down as well, which is really good for our dollar yen short, which we analysed on Monday. So yeah, there's still a little bit to talk about, so we'll go through all of that. Hello to those on the YouTube channel. Nat, hello, good to see you. Curtin, good to see you as always. And Louis, hello to you as well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in. And hello to those watching on catch up, and also those on the Discord channel as well. So good news regarding some of the live streams going forward. I normally stream twice, maybe 3 times a week if it's like a busy NFP day or something. We used to stream every day, but don't really need to do that really, because it was just they were coming shorter and not as effective. But I'm in talks at the moment of potentially doing a giveaway on the streams. So whether that be an Atmos funded challenge or a Taurex giveaway, that could start as early as next week. So keep an eye on the Discord channels and on the social medias for any other news on that. It's not confirmed. It's just something that someone mentioned yesterday, and it's something we could be doing. So I might be doing a live draw or something like that if people register. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet, but we could be doing live giveaways very shortly, which is great. Okay, the Chojapong, hello to you. Good to see you. Thank you very much for the comment. Hope you're doing well, and hope you've had a good start to your trading week. So when we've got the first bit of news, which I think is of any importance today, was the UK CPI figures out this morning. So I mentioned on Monday how we saw the forecast for 3.4%, previous at 3.5, and we got the figure in at 3.4, which was pretty much in line with the analyst expectations, so not too much to worry about there. And as we go back, I want to go back to what happened overnight in China, because you can see we had the GDP figures from China, the industrial production, retail sales, and GDP year on year as well. So previously 5.4%, forecast was for 5.1%. This is their GDP, this is their economic growth figures. Actual was 5.4. Retail sales 5.9 compared to 4.2, and industrial production 7.7% year on year compared to the forecast of 5.6%. So when you look at that, I would have thought that would feed into some risk on trading today. And then when we go onto the indices and we look at the CHN50, you can see we've got that. The Hang Seng, though, is down. So really this has become a story today of a Chinese economy which has given out better results than what was expected, which is good for the Chinese economy and Chinese stock market. But the rest of the world isn't faring up so well. And you can see the VIX is ticking higher, 3%. The Nasdaq's down 1.7. The S&P 500 is down 1%. The DAX is down 0.6. FTSE's flat, and the Hang Seng's down 1.6. Yes, that could turn around today, but the general sentiment is very negative, and we're in a different era. Normally, when we come on in a normal time, we'd be talking about how, you know, the stock market's had a good start to the day. It's up 0.5%, and you can sort of see that momentum carry on. I'm just looking there, and it's an awesome tool how to get access. You're about this tool here with the calendar? If so, I will send you the link to it now. I believe you can get a free trial on there or something. Taurex, trade Taurex. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to point you in the right direction. So you want to go on to, I believe this link would work. So basically what you get on this dashboard is you get a signal center where we have regulated signals coming through. AI sentiment, so you'll be able to get the general sentiment of what's going on at the moment, whether we're bullish, bearish. The economic calendar, which is the one that I use personally quite a lot. Technical views as well, so you can get some in-depth analysis on different pairs and some analysis on there as well. So it gives you sort of a prediction of where it could fall. Featured ideas, economic insights, and then obviously you can download MT5, MT4, and we've also got Swiss out on there as well, which basically is an account analyzer tool. So yeah, you can join that. No worries, Louis. And I believe if I click on Taurex Plus, yeah, you can see my dashboard on there. So yeah, check it out. It's good. Okay, so let's start with the Nasdaq then, because this is the one which is turning over a little bit. And I wanted to point out the fact, obviously, that we were, you know, still quite far below its 200 moving average. If I get rid of that and just have a really clean chart and keep it really simple, when you go from high can you see how we're sort of, well, not sort of, we are respecting basically this channel? And so I'm actually planning a trade which I want to share with you. You saw over the overnight from last night into today, we had a gap lower in the Nasdaq. So what I'm looking to do is I'm actually looking to use this gap, and what I want to use is the 50% of it. Let me just mark 50%, which sits at 18,685. I'm just showing you the way that I'm looking to trade today. Obviously it's up to you how you wish to trade, and I want to put my stop loss probably on this high here. Osama, no worries, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's all good. Yeah, didn't miss too much. We're just going through UK inflation and some of the tools that we've got. I'm actually looking for this as a trade. And I'm going to post this in the Discord channel and personally place a 1% risk on this trade. Oh no, I'm going to place 2% risk on this trade, sorry, because it's a 4-hour trade. That's just what I'm going to do personally. So we've got quite a lot of confluence here. So we've got confluence 1, which is our descending trend line. We've got confluence 2. I'm going to delete this because it's confusing. %, FVG. It looks nice, doesn't it, Osama? I like the setup indeed. So I'm going to give myself a trade on that. So if I just open up, and I want to post this in the Discord channel, which is why it's important to be in the Discord channel as well, because I do post my trades in there. I haven't been as active on the trading scene over the last few weeks because of everything that's happened. I've been sitting out a little bit more, and to be honest, I've been really busy. It's been hard. I'm actually developing some bots to help me, so hopefully that can take some of the pressure off. But I do like this setup. So I've posted that in Taurex, and I'll post it in Atmos as well. There we go. That, to be honest, that's my favourite trade of the day. I'm going to quickly look at the I'm going to look at the US 30. Have you say we've got the same setup? Let's have a look. I don't like it as much. Trend line isn't as clear, I don't think. Not bad. It's a similar setup. You're right. I think the Nasdaq's got slightly more confluence attached to it. And the gap isn't as big. So this would be this would what if I was trading this, what I would do is this would be like a really ultra aggressive, high risk reward, really low risk but really high reward trade. I would literally do something like this. It's very risky, but you can see the risk reward that could be on offer. 21 to 1 to that low. If we manage to get, because these markets move quick, right? If we manage to get a massive sell-off from there, 43 to 1, 43 to 1 risk reward. To be honest, for me, I'm thinking it might be worth 0.1% or something, 0.2%. I'm going to add an alert there. And I'm going to add an alert at the Nasdaq one as well, just below it, so I can then get active on the charts. But I'm going to call it 2% sell, and then I'm going to call this 0.2% sell. You never know. It's highly risky, but it's a gap, and if you just traded that gap, if you wanted to make it less risky, you'd probably cover this high. Still 7 to 1, but I've already got a good sort of 6-7 to 1 set up on the Nasdaq. So okay, there's 2 potential trade ideas. So this is shaping up to be a pretty good day, to be fair. Okay, just in terms of back to sort of the fundamentals, I just want to remind everyone that one of the reasons I think we're seeing some more volatility today, and why I think we may see volatility coming up in the next sort of 24 hours, 48 hours of trading, is because of this. Normally, Powell always speaks at these clubs, these economic clubs or these summits and stuff, and he always says stuff. Yeah, it's normally okay. The thing is, yeah, I know, Osama, but it's worth a go for a very minimal risk for me anyway. Could get lucky. So he always tends to speak at these sorts of events, right? And it's normally not really focused on. But obviously, with the current situation, how Powell reacts and how he responds to everything that's going on is means that these little talks that he has at these events makes it even more, it makes it important, like a lot more important than it ever was. So later on tonight, Powell is the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is due to speak at the Economic Club of Chicago. Yes, it is today. Today, all eyes will be on the Federal Reserve when he speaks. Blah blah blah. The markets will be keenly watching his upcoming commentary on Wednesday. Global investors, analysts, and market participants will be looking for Powell to give a guidance on a number of recent developments. Powell's comments should shed light on a variety of issues that we've got right now. A lot of uncertainty: tariffs, jobs, inflation, interest rates, and the state of the economy. There's a lot there. Powell's been under pressure to Powell's been under pressure to bring the interest rates down. Inflation in the US seems to be trending lower. The latest set of US CPI data for March showed a falling trend. Whether the US Fed decides to go for a rate cut in May or June remains to be unseen. On a more positive note, last week's inflation data suggested that price pressures are easing, with both CPI and PPI figures coming in lower. Trump was always in favour of lower interest rates and has now put Powell in a spot. Cutting rates soon and aggressively may trigger inflation again, while a delay could hurt the US economy. However, Powell, along with most other Fed officials, feels the time is not right to cut rates. The US economy is showing signs of weakness, at least it's showing up in the job market. But it looks like the US Fed is likely to maintain a steady policy rate to mitigate the possibility of persistent inflation due to Trump tariffs. So I think the situation here, to summarise that, is when we hear from his language today, for me it's going to be a point of, okay, is he going to signal cuts coming due to lower inflation, but not be too concerned about the economy? Because we have this situation now, is what's the reason Powell's cutting? Is he cutting because inflation is falling, but at the same time he shows concern about the US economy? If so, I don't think that would be a positive thing for the stock market or the US dollar. But if he's quite confident and bullish about the economy and feels it's the right time to bring interest rates down, not because the economy is slowing down or there's concern or particular worry about tariffs, but because inflation is falling and it's now the right time, that will be seen as a positive thing, I think, for the stock market. So listening to his language tonight is going to be really important. So once I hear from him tonight, I will put the comments in the Discord channels, and we can sort of digest what that means for risk assets, what that means for the dollar going forward from that. So it's a really important one tonight, I think. Okay. So, away from indices and onto onto gold, I guess. Gold paused very, very briefly and then surged higher once again. 3,400 Osama looks like it's on the cards. I know I keep saying I'm not interested in buying gold, and people are probably thinking, yeah, but it keeps going up, it keeps going up. Let it. I'm really not that fussed. I had a couple of good gold trades at the beginning of the year. I don't feel like it's a sensible buy when you're buying up at all-time highs, but I was wrong. It didn't pause for long. I thought we were going to see a bit more period of a consolidation first, but it just continued to go higher. So I'm interested to see how other people are trying to trade this, because it's a very difficult market. I'm sort of waiting for the high to be formed. I'm waiting for some structure, but the structure just isn't there. But it's hard to argue with the fact we're 2% up. So if you have been buying it, very well done indeed, because you're doing well. Okay, and just finally, I wanted to give you an update on the trend rider dollar yen trade that we marked in the stream on. Look at that. So I actually entered here. That was my first entry. Second entry probably would have been stopped out. Third entry on this red line here. Look how beautiful it is. Minimal drawdown. Absolute snipe of an entry. Currently trading 4-1, which is brilliant. So, oh sorry, no, yeah, there it was. So we can still see this. Sorry, that's completely not right. I don't know why I tagged that. The second entry of the trend rider, because I'm on a 4-hour time. But that was a daily. That was a daily trend rider. I've not actually used that before, but it looks really good. Sorry, the second entry was here, and we're trading currently at 1-1. I was going to say, because I'm not in that much profit. I'm only 1% up. I'll show you. I've got my phone. So there we go. Can you see that? dollar yen sell. Currently trading 2% profit. This was entry number 2 here. Entry number 1 was 4.1. Entry number 1 was up here. I actually entered here and here. To be honest, it's probably a bit too aggressive. These are the 2 trades. And the ADX indicator still hasn't really given us that trending move like that one. So I'm hoping that move on the ADX corresponds to more downside. I believe that dollar yen could be testing 140 in the coming days. Again, we'll see how what language Powell decides to use for today. The other indication, sorry, just if I go back, of this sort of risk-off tone again, is this oil market. You can see brief pause in oil. Are we shaping up for another move down potentially in oil? It could be. There isn't much momentum for the bulls here. This looks like it's sort of hanging on, and it's consolidating. It's almost creating a bearish flag. So we could be in for another move lower in oil as well. So I'm going to have my eyes on that. Okay. That pretty much sums it up for today. So a quick update from Monday. So I like the look of the Nasdaq sell. The Dow Jones sell was a little bit of an experiment. 40-to-1 risk reward. It's hard to avoid putting a little bit on that for me. I'm running quite well on dollar yen, and I've got my eyes on some more oil downside. Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up. So I will put the live stream schedule for next week. I'll put that in on the Discord channel on Friday. I will also find out some more information about whether we can start doing some giveaways on the streams, and I will update you on that as well. And we are working on the academy in the background, so there's going to be some courses. Hopefully this summer we can get some courses out there for you to learn from, so that should be great. Okay, thank you very much to those who tuned in today and those to watch on catch up. Have a good day, trade well, trade safe, and watch out for Powell later. Cheers.